Okay, my name is John Oliver. Today is October the 15th. Well, no, 16th. We got past midnight. 12:20 a.m. in the morning in my apartment in Dallas. This is an benchmark overview update, something like that, about um, growing and sowing libraries. Who, when, why, how. This is the what. Previous one I did it with depth. I'm gonna deal with width. What I mean by width is, as we'll see, move this over here a bit, is what kind of subjects. In other words, a library can have just anything. And I'm not trying to compete with necessarily academic libraries or school libraries or collegiate libraries or whatever. I want to be, and each, well, first of all, as perhaps necessary to mention here, that this is a very innovative approach. It's going to deal with using the public domain things, having other people to make things for me, to contribute, to donate, to like an article marketing where people can write an article, they put it online, they say you can publish mine as long as you have a link back to my blog or website. So it's kind of like their PR piece. They're saying, I know about quitting smoking, losing weight, scrambling eggs, making French toast, whatever. Here's a recipe. Here are the examples. You can publish those on your thing, or it could be dealing with asthma or allergies, or changing a tire, or recycling plastics, whatever your thing is. And you're free to use my material as long as you have a link back to me, so I can use those articles because that's what it says. And Creative Commons, all kinds of ways. So I can have thousands of articles, videos, YouTube, those kinds of things. But I'm not trying to entertain. I'm not into entertainment. I'm not into political action. I'm into basic education. And like I say here, kind of bump that up. Like academic. So academics, it's kind of like. So the width deals with what kinds of things. So academics. One of the stories that I've heard before, I want to go back and emphasize or verify, is that heard of a person who works in the state government in the U.S. I think it's Florida, that said that they need to plan ahead how many prison beds to have, and they can determine that pretty accurately, learn over the years, by telling how the reading rates are for fourth graders. If they do poorly, they're pretty much doomed to wind up being criminals and going to prison. So they're always tracking the reading rate. And also, real importantly, once you get in prison, they need to learn how to read. So reading is fundamental. Leaders are readers. Not in the U.S., which is very, very, very essential, and there's a tilt away from reading because so much video and whatnot. So reading is very essential, and also overseas, because I'm dealing with both domestic and foreign things overseas. By learning how to, there's a great demand to learn English in China and India and elsewhere, because English is a language of commerce, language online. It's become a universal language, and many of these, as the earth becomes flatter, so learn English, basic English. We start with very basic English, like I said, elementary school, and then later on might grow it up. Also, just and then not just English, but the kinds of courses of like elementary school kids, and so like reading up before, like I said, and well, Christian education. Bring this down here. Christian education is a different thing about scripture, biblical literacy, church history. Again, I have many other links, many other ideas. It's really a rough draft. This is just like showing you inviting you into my workshop, inviting you into my warehouse. I'm not ready to show this to the public. I'm not show this off. I'm not proud of this. It's just kind of like pretty rough stuff, but basic art. So you can teach essentials of art, and we've gotten away from art and music, which is tragic and sad all by itself. But online you can find classes about drawing figures, drawing still lives, the basics of drawing, the basics of scales and music. You can teach it if it can be done one to one. If you've done in the classroom, that can be. If you have a handout, it can be recorded, be video, it can be audio. Then it can be digitized. It can be shared all over the world. Literacy, all different kinds of literacy. So, and here we have computer literacy, cultural literacy, emotional literacy, financial literacy, health literacy, information literacy, science literacy, information and media literacy, music literacy. That's just the ones. There are many other literacies that are listed on Wikipedia. Um, Science. So I mean, just to know the basics of physics and chemistry and stuff like that. And here's reading, writing, computer skills, internet skills. So I'm beginning to shape that out. My interest has been mostly on length, not so much on the academic side. So academics, that's just kind of like a sprinkling of that. And then life, as Christian education, there's a huge amount. I've got tons of stuff on that. Discipleship, evangelism, benevolence, what do you call that? What more? 5 minutes already. I'm going blank. But how you read the Bible, study the Bible for yourself. Life skills, there's no one way to define that. Lots of ways to define it. But it's kind of like, how do you goal set, time management, balance a checkbook, vocational kinds of things, leadership training, community development. So those kinds of things, very pragmatic stuff, and lots of other things that can be included. You'll understand this better when you see the length, because this will go anything from orphanages, or prisons, or again, people got a lot of time there, or homeschoolers, as well as charter schools, private schools, boarding schools. Not necessarily, I don't want necessarily to replace their stuff, but to supplement, complement, augment it. And my interest is both to where students, children or adults are weak. It might be on spelling, it might be on grammar, it might be on science, it might be on then here are materials that can help you in your weakness. Or if you some boys are fascinated with math or science, so go ahead on and learn more about math or science. Here's lots of materials. Just because your class is going slow, you can still go fast because of the supplemental material in the library. Or subsistence farmer, here's kind of stuff that Peace Corps teaches, or the NGOs teach, or your Department of Health teaches about how you can water, how you collect water, how you purify water, how you sanitation. I mean, there's lots of lessons. It's a matter of collecting them, organizing them, as well as I'll get that later, somewhat later. Like you mentioned here, is to commission people to say, this isn't time to get that. I'll give a huge bunch about commissioning. Anyway, I won't get into that. I've done long enough. It's almost 8 minutes. That's enough for that for now. Thanks, bye.